Hey guys, how's it going? This is the Bald Metal Nerd coming at you with another video. If you've been watching my recent videos, you know a few weeks ago I broke a pair of Monoprice 8323s, which is obviously what's in this box. They were headphones that I had for about 4 years. I tried using different headphones, my Harman Kardon CLs in place of those, and I just kind of missed having this pair because I really liked the way I had these customized, so I decided I'm going to go ahead and order another pair of these Monoprice headphones. So I did, and they arrived today, and obviously what we were looking at here is the box, and pretty similar to the box from 4 years ago. This is the front, obviously. Side, I know, thrilling, right? Back, side. Now, it does mention something a little different from what I remember last time, and the important thing is included cables. One is 1.2 meter TRS stereo cable and 1.2 TRRS cable with one button mic. So, these must come with a cord with a microphone on it now. So, I guess this is probably a revised edition of these classic headphones. So, obviously, we're going to go ahead and we're going to open the box and see what we got in here. Well, when you open the box, obviously, you immediately see the headphones and the connector. Remove the headphones. Let's get that connector out. And behind, and then there's no documentation or booklets because, well, let's be honest, who really needs them? Then we've got this is the cable with the microphone, right? And here is now this exact same cable came with the original revision 8323s. Now, the original 8323s came with this cable here. This is a 10-foot straight cable, which obviously you see I have a 1/4-inch adapter on one end of it because it's obviously the one I hook up to the, I can't talk here, the receiver. So there you go. That's the 10-foot cable that it does not come with. Like I said, that came with the original one. But looks like these two are what it currently comes with. Now, right out of the box, look at that. We already have a slight issue. We have this slightly separating from the main part of the headphone. But some super glue will fix that. It's really, for $15.99, I'm not going to complain too much about a few things. But one thing I do notice about these is the plastic feels cheaper than on the quote original edition, and the general noisiness, squeaks and all that, very similar to the original. And when I stretch it out, that noise that I hear, I'm not sure if that's the plastic or if it's issues with the headband. I don't love that noise. I don't know, and it's definitely a different texture of plastic than the original. I don't know if it's quote cheaper or not than the original. I don't know if it's going to break any quicker. Only long term will I be able to tell if this is quote less durable. But what we can ascertain real quick is a few things. So actually, guys, what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to pause. We're going to change camera angle just slightly and be right back with a little more. Alright guys, I went ahead and hooked up the headphones to my phone. We're going to do a quick listening test, and we're also going to kind of try to assess the sound quality, and we'll do a microphone test. I'll make a phone call, see if the other party can hear me fine. and it'll also be a good chance for a sound leak test. So let me go ahead and put the headphones on, and we'll listen to a little bit of Enter Sandman here, and I'll give you guys my impressions. So let's skip the song back a little bit, just hit play. Alright guys, here's what I notice. When you listen at a moderate volume, the sound is nice, smooth, and even, but when you crank it up, even really just a bit, the bass becomes rather boomy, and the mids become a bit recessed for my taste. Now, I don't know if, it's going to change after these headphones are broken in or not. I also, obviously was listening to these most recently with the Brainwaves pads. So my old pair had on them. And I do plan on, obviously, trying these with the Brainwaves pads. But out of the box sound quality, it's pretty good. It's pretty good, but it's not, it definitely doesn't, blow me away. But for $15 headphones, it's pretty damn good still. So what I'm going to do now, guys, I'm going to go ahead and make a quick phone call and see if my good friends at the local Chinese restaurant can hear me. So let's go ahead and give them a call. Hi there, what time do you guys close? Hello? Oh, 10:30? Alright, thanks a lot. Yeah, bye. I guess you heard me just fine through the microphone, that's great. So, we've confirmed the mic works, and we know what the audio, at least my impressions of the audio out of the box are. So, what I'm going to do now, guys, is I'm going to pause real quick. I'm going to swap the pads, and then we're going to talk about what the audio sounds like with the HM Brainwaves pads on it. So, be right back, guys. Alright, guys. Obviously, I've swapped out the stock pads for the Brainwaves pads here. And I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit more listening. And this time we're going to do a little bit of listening to some lovely Bruce Dickinson solo work. Of course, we know Bruce is the singer from Iron Maiden. And do a little bit of listening. I'll give you another good sound leak test with the Brainwaves pads on here. And I'll tell you what I think it sounds like. So here we go. Okay. This definitely has, putting these pads on has a very, what I would say, good effect on the sound. It makes it sound better. It definitely smooths out the sound some. It removes some of the booming bass, definitely. And it helps smooth it out a bit. The mids could be a bit more forward still, but it certainly does improve the sound, I think. It definitely makes it a little bit more smooth and balanced than what it is with the stock pads. It does make it a bit more trebly, of course, because there's less felt there on the Brainwaves pad. So what I'm going to go ahead and do, guys, actually, is I am going to destroy my warranty on these now. and we're going to experiment with some damping material from these stock pads. The comfort level is crap, and frankly, doesn't sound so good with these stock pads. The sound quality, I mean, it's there, but it's not. It's certainly not what I would call outstanding. So we're going to go ahead and use the pads for some damping material. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to pause here. Stock pads are pretty much going to get destroyed. I'm going to remove as much of this part as I can, and we're going to shove it into the brainwaves and see, you know, what effect that has on the sound signature. So see you guys here in a bit. Alright guys, I tried with this damping material, and without. I listened to some lovely Warrell Dane songs, and Warrell Dane is the lead vocalist of both Sanctuary and Nevermore, and there's a possible Nevermore reunion coming up. I'm really hoping they do that and maybe go on tour and produce some new music. There's talk of it. Jeff Loomis said, "Yeah, I'd love to do it again," and I think Warrell's for it. So I think it's just a matter. I mean, there's no official announcement yet, but I think it's just a matter of time before that. So hey, that'd be awesome. Nevermore, one of my favorite bands. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked here. Bottom line is, yes, it sounded better with the damping material. It helped attenuate it. It helped smooth out the sound a bit more. So I'm going to permanently attach these underneath the pads. I'm going to tape them, over the drivers or whatever. So that way they're permanently attached. I am going to, of course, fix this problem here. And what else I'm going to do is I'm going to burn in the headphones for a while and see if their sound signature changes any before I give my final verdict on this. But these changes that I'm talking about definitely improve the sound of these headphones, at least straight out of the box, without, quote, any burn-in. I don't know if burn-in's real or not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little research on it, regarding these headphones, see if there's a, quote, recommended hours or whatever. And I'm just going to listen to these a bunch because right now it's a Friday. I'll listen to these a bunch over the weekend, as well as I'll probably just let music play through these overnight, because it doesn't really hurt anything, just my electric bill a little bit, right? So that's basically the plan, and then we'll, pick this up maybe in a couple of days. So that's it for now. Like I said, I'm going to fix this and do listening and all sorts of other fun stuff. So I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright guys, here is just a really quick note on pads that I'm injecting into this. Because some people may not want to spend $20-some for the Brainwaves pads. So I thought I would try some other pads on this set of headphones, to see what it does. So the pad that I was going to, maybe recommend instead of the Brainwaves pads are the ones that I have on my M50Xs, which are the Shure pads. But the problem with the Shure pads on these is they are ridiculously loose, and this has already popped off. I barely touched the pad and it popped right off the ear cup. They are far too large to really use on these headphones day to day. So the Shure pads on these headphones are a definite no-go. Now the other pad that's on here is ATH M50X stock pad. But if you don't have a pair of those headphones, you're not going to have a spare pair, or I'm not going to, quote, recommend these pads, because if it requires, because they're okay for comfort, but they're certainly not earth-shattering. But just for completeness sake, I thought I would show what it looks like on here. There's a pretty good seal. Obviously, it doesn't pop off, right? I mean, I could twist it off, but, obviously it looks like we've got just the, but they do twist off, fairly easily, right? So, and just for comparison's sake, just in case you're curious, and you didn't watch my video on these, here's the same two pads on my ATH M50X headphones. The Shure pads, while not super tight, don't, easily separate from the M50Xs. I mean, they come, obviously you can just twist them right off, but they don't just, fall off. And of course, here's the stock pad on the M50X, and it came off fairly easily too. So anyway, that's it. On to the next part of the video. Alright guys, I've learned a bit by experimenting with different, with this headphone a bit. This is the final, well, this is going to be the second to last part of this video before I talk about overall about the headphone and all that. It's just some things that I've learned through the process of, doing my in-depth listening and all that crap over the past couple of days here. I experimented with a variety of different things. In the first part of the video, I know I said, hey, one of the main problem with this headphone is it has over boomy bass and, less focus on other frequencies. Well, what I learned is it very much matters what you plug this headphone into. But that's true of really any headphone, not just the Monoprices, but any headphone that you plug into. For example, when I have it plugged into my Audio Engine D1, they sound great, nice and smooth. The boominess that I was talking about is gone, and it does bring out the mids quite a bit more plugged into a high quality DAC headphone amp than it does in an iPod or a smartphone. It definitely matters what it's plugged into. So there's that. Secondly, just for fun, I decided to compare it to my other headphones, and a long time ago I did a shootout when I first got my ATH M50Xs. I compared these to my existing headphones, and I haven't really done that since. That was about 2 years ago. One thing I found interesting is I actually preferred these. Yes, I preferred the Monoprices, at least the modded Monoprices, over the Harman Kardon CLs. The Harman Kardon CLs, even plugged into the Audio Engine D1, had the bass boominess problem in the recessed mids. So these actually beat out these of all things. At least, yeah, I was a little bit surprised by that, but whatever. So bye-bye Harman Kardon CLs. And, but of course, the M50X beat the Monoprices. They sounded, significantly, you could hear much more, quote, micro detail. I hate to use that term, but it's appropriate with the M50Xs. Plus, they had a smoother, more even response, I noticed. They just sounded better than the Monoprices. But for the price difference, you would expect them to. But these did sound really, really good plugged into the Audio Engine D1. I was extremely impressed with the sound. So what I'm going to do now, guys, again, is I'm going to now listen to, instead of just, A-Bing things, because that is incredibly boring, but it is a good way to, figure certain things out. I'm going to listen to a variety of different musical genres on this besides just metal, and I'll kind of give you guys my impressions of what I think of this, and we'll have some final words and all that. So, see you guys in a bit. Alright guys, I managed to obviously listen to more variety of music now on these headphones, and it's time for the final part of this video, whether I tell you if these are worth getting or not. What I can say is, no matter what I threw at these headphones, classical, country, classic rock, hard rock, what else did I listen to? Industrial, pop, no matter what I listen to on these things, these headphones sounded absolutely great. Wonderful sound, no matter what I threw at them. So definitely wins the sound quality award. In the original video where I talked about these headphones a couple of years ago, I said the out-of-the-box comfort was originally horrible on these headphones on the original iteration. But like I said, this is a different version than whatever I got, back in 2013, and whatever Monoprice did to this recent iteration, the extreme comfort problems are now really gone. Because before, what you would have to do is you'd have to stretch these over the box they came in and leave it like that for a day or two, for it not to feel like a spike was going into your head when you wore these things for any more than a half hour. I've worn these things for hours and hours, and I didn't have any comfort problems whatsoever, and I didn't do the stretch. Now, if you buy a pair of these and they do end up hurting your head, keep the box for a few days. That way, overnight or whatever, you could put, stretch them over the box like this. That will fix the spike in your head problem. So maybe it's just my pair that's good now, or if it's just due to the changes they made, I don't know. Again, compared to the original release, the plastic feels cheaper, but it doesn't have that point of failure built into it. I think that the old ones did, because my old ones broke right here because there was a pattern in the plastic that eventually jutted out and broke, and that's now gone. So these might actually be more durable long term. I don't know yet, because obviously I just got these. And of course, the other change is this new cable. And I have to say, for mobile use, it's a huge upgrade over what came before. The connector is actually really robust and feels nice, like metal. Same thing with the microphone. And of course, the connector that actually goes into whatever device you're listening with. So this is actually a really nice mobile cable for this headphone. Also, of course, I didn't mention this in the other part of the video. I mean, I put a note in there, but there's a button on the microphone, and all of the functions work as exactly as you would expect them to. Play, pause, all that crap. So anyway, bottom line, and of course, oh yeah, I forgot. We're talking about the pads. I recommended swapping out the pads for the brainwaves. So you might be asking yourself, is it worth it to spend more on those pads, the brainwaves pads, than you do on the headphones? Because the headphones are $15.99 plus about $7 shipping, so they're about $22 total. The brainwaves pads are about $23, so I guess it's really roughly the same price. I would say for the comfort upgrade they provide over the stock pads, because the stock pads, the comfort is absolute crap. Okay, these are a huge upgrade in comfort. Excuse me. Over the stock pads. Plus, I really do like the change they make to the sound signature of these headphones. I think they're definitely worth it. Whether they're worth it to you or not, your mileage, of course, may vary. I would definitely recommend, the only reason I swapped these out right away is because I've owned these headphones before, and obviously, and I know I prefer it with the pads. So, up to you guys. If you do decide to get these, use them for a few weeks, listen to them for a few weeks, see if they're comfortable, see if they're the way you like them out of the box. But the bottom line is, for the price that these things are, they are an absolute tremendous value. The price to performance ratio of these things is honestly, in my opinion, the best of any headphone I've ever heard in my life, including the M50Xs. Because they're so cheap and they sound so damn good. I just can't believe the sound quality you get for the cost. So anyway, that pretty much wraps this up. If you enjoyed, as always, thumbs up. If you hated it, thumbs down. Share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys next time.